Loshak at. The bottle's getting empty up the crack and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated public sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon cause we be pubbing.
Okay, hi everyone, welcome to Pub Sports Radio. Today is Tuesday, November 29th. I'm Peter Loshak. We do this every Tuesday. It's a lot of fun, or a nice way to start off the week. You know, Tuesday people are either recovering or on a extreme confidence high from the weekend. I'm doing all right in general with my sports betting. You know, not killing it, but doing fine. Had a nice day yesterday. Today we got NHL with Mr. Gokster, then NBA, small NBA card with Trotwell. It'd be very interesting to hear what he has to say, and of course what the comment section has to say about Golden State Dallas. Man, I don't know. Dallas Mavericks 113-1 ATS last 15. Maybe you're not keeping track of it that closely. Everyone knows Dallas has been terrible ATS, but some people might not realize 113-1 ATS. Over the last 15. It'll be great to break down that game with Trotwam in the comments section. Some interesting stuff in NHL as well. A bunch of teams that are usually good, expected to be good, kind of slumping right now. We'll see what Mr. Gokster has to say about that. We can talk about college football if we want and college basketball. Yesterday's college basketball card, I did hit a bunch of plays. I'm always good on Mondays, and then everything tends to be a lot more dicey the rest of the week. Big college basketball card, and I didn't bet anything on the overnight lines. I took one small shot with Marquette that I suspected might not be the right side, but I took a small shot with it anyway. Aside from that, nothing on college basketball, but we can discuss that if you want, and we can discuss college football coming up as well. I did take a small shot with Ohio as a small dog against Toledo. Might pull that, but the line has moved in my favor with that. I can share that with you. And I did take a shot with Tulane. I think I got 2.5 actually. And I took a shot. Again, I might pull it, but as of right now, I think it's okay. I did take a shot with TCU. TCU has just been an absolute juggernaut this year, even in cases where, you know, they were like maybe a big favorite, not expected to cover. The game against West Virginia where they pulled it out at the end. So I took a shot once again with TCU. Those are the college football plays that I've bet so far. We can talk about that if we'd like. We'll look at the comment section very quickly right now. Shout out to everyone, and then we'll get into NHL. Let's see what anyone has to say. Lucas Ryan, shout out to you. Sharon Polium says, Pete, how's it going? It's going okay. It's going not bad. It's going okay. Jack Valent, how you doing? Billy Friedrich, where is the stat? I don't know. I'll grow it back if you want. I just I grew the stash. It seemed like a good idea at the time, and then I realized that it was Movember, where every fucking jerk off asshole hipster and fuckface grows a mustache. So I decided, you know what? I got a lot of problems in life, but I'm not a jerk off, asshole, fuckface, or hipster. So I'm going to shave the fucking mustache for Movember, and then maybe in December I'll grow it. But yeah, that's why I shaved it, because I realized it was Movember, and I'm like, I'm not one of those guys. I'm not a Movember guy. I'm the kind of guy who grows a mustache in July or December, and everyone's like, what's his deal? It's not trendy to grow a mustache now. Why is he doing it? He looks ugly. Movember, no. I'm shaving it clean shaven. That's why. Shout out to Slow Jams. Jake Ballant, Forsberg, mustache gives him power. Yeah, I mean, mustaches give me power too. I probably will grow one as fast as I possibly can in December, because I love the look. I love the cab driver look. And, you know, it was funny. It did seem to bring me luck, seemed to bring me power, but I just shaved it off. Michael Ervelina, shout out to you. Sweaty Butcher, hell yeah. Bo Jackson, Paco Healy, hell yeah. Shout out to you, Paco Healy. Hope we can hang out at some point in the next 3 years. Paco Healy, DC Capper, good morning. Stashtober, yeah. If they have Stashtober and then October is a month, I can't grow a mustache either. But I'll be all right. Gary Tenebra. Peter, what up? Not much. Nothing much. Paco Healy, the Sweaty Butcher. All right. I think that's it. Shout out to everyone. Please, please, please give us your opinions on all these games, NHL and NBA. And then at the end of NBA, we'll do with Trotwam. We can talk college basketball if you want. We can touch on it. I can look at the line moves. I can look at my opinions. Again, I don't know what happened. On Monday, I had a bunch of plays I liked, had a great Monday. Tuesday, went over the overnights, felt completely lost. All the lines looked accurate to me, so I didn't hit anything on the overnight line. Okay, yeah, Lucas Bryant. Yeah, stash equals power. Yes, that is undeniable. That is undeniable. So, you got to be selective with it. All right. Okay. Let's get into it. Huge shout out to everyone. What New Quicker says, Pete, I've had a stash since I had to shave. Excellent. Excellent, New Quicker. Great to hear. Jimmy Gomez. All right, let's get into it. NHL, we got some interesting stuff on the card today. Please welcome to the show our resident NHL expert. I love talking to him every Tuesday about all this shit. Mr. Gokster, welcome to the show. Mr. Gokster, where are you at?
How you doing, Pistol? Doing well, buddy. Always a treat to be on with you. We got a nice, juicy 9-game card, guys. So, we're going to get after it like we do. Been some up and down in some teams you're talking about, too, we can talk about.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Gokster, again, let's just talk about the 15 second for NHL. Beginning of the NHL season, I had a bunch of plays that I was liking, did well with it. Then, college basketball and college football took over, and I've been focusing on that, glancing at NHL and not really seeing I just, I'm not following it that closely. So I'm not seeing the game-specific edges that people like you do see. It's a little tough right now, the NHL. I feel a little bit. There's definitely some teams that were expected to be good juggernauts that are not playing well. We'll talk about some of them today. Of course, the Devils went on their huge winning streak, which was hopefully you bet into that. I didn't, mostly just because I was focusing on other stuff. But I probably also ignored other stuff that would have caused me to lose some money. So it's probably all okay. How do you feel about NHL right now, Gogi?
Oh, it's been pretty good, Been a lot on the NFL lately, actually. A little capping on the NFL. Went, I think it was 4-1 on the weekend there. So
very nice.
Hockey, it's been good, actually. Had a juicy parlay that hit, too. So I was watching pretty closely the LA Kings-Ottawa Senator game. And I believe the Kings are playing tonight, so we'll definitely have a good play. I got a good strong angle in that game, I think. So
right.
You really got to watch the games, though, Pete. It's at this point in time of the year, you really got to just beat writers too, locker room vibes. It's injury reports, past games. Those are special teams. Those are all things I like looking at, Pete.
No, absolutely. I mean, I even after all these years, nothing quite beats watching the games. I was actually talking to someone over Thanksgiving who follows NHL super closely, right? Doesn't have a model, none of that. Just watches the games and is, extremely successful, big better, limited at all the books. You know what I mean? NHL, a tough market, doesn't have a model. He just basically watches the games, the injuries and all that shit, follows it super, super closely, and is very successful with it. So, at some point, AI will take over, and even watching the games won't help. But at this point, it still helps. So let's see what you can do for us today, Mr. Goldster. Let's start with San Jose, Montreal, okay?
Okay.
Maybe you can chat. You ready, Gogi?
Ready, baby. I'm always
okay.
Ready.
Maybe you can shine some light on this because obviously San Jose expected to be a bad team this year, and they have been, right? Losing. Montreal, not a great team, but certainly middle of the pack, playing pretty well. They've been winning over the past couple weeks, and it opened at a very, very low line. It was like minus 110 on the opening line. Montreal's been off for a few days, better rested. I see it was so off that I actually didn't pull the trigger on it. I was like, I want to hear what the comment section has to say. And if it winds up being minus 125 and I take it there, that's okay because the line didn't make sense to me. What's your take on this one, Gogi?
You got Kakkonen and Allen. Kakkonen's their backup goalie. Reimer's actually day-to-day right now. Could be starting the next couple games, but it doesn't look like Reimer's going to be a net guy. So you have two goalies, Pete, that have save percentages below 900. So whenever you see that, could be some goals here. At least some offenses can take advantage of some weaker goalies. Goals against are over 3.5. And this is a big one I like looking at is goals saved above expected. Both of them minus 5.6 for Allen, minus 8.6 for Kakkonen. So Over time, I think we're going to see some goals in this game, to be honest, Pete. Power play is 27% for San Jose. They actually have a good power play, and their penalty kill is 87%. Montreal, 20% power play, 79% penalty kill. With these goalies, and also San Jose have a back-to-back tomorrow in Toronto. All teams get up for this game against Toronto. You always have players that are from Ontario or from the area, so I expect they'll be able to get up for that. I'm not sure if Reimer's going to go. This game, I do think San Jose are going to put their best foot forward, Pete. They lost 4-3 against Vancouver. They lost 5-2 against the Kings. They lost 8-5 against Seattle. They're having trouble stopping the puck. In Montreal, just looking at their offense, it's okay. They have 4 guys that are double digits in scoring, Pete. That's it. It's Suzuki, Caulfield, Doc, and Monahan. So other than that, their scorings, they should be able to take advantage of Kakinen. But where I'm getting at here, guys, is I think there's going to be goals early. I like taking the plus money. I lean to the full game over, Pete, but I'm going to pull the trigger here on both teams to score. The old Gokster special here, plus 145. Okay. Both teams to score in the first period here, Pistol. 3 losses for San Jose. Expect them to come up pretty hot and heavy here. And Allen, he's been okay. They coming off 2 wins, 5-4 against Chicago, 3-1 against Columbus, lost 7-2 to Buffalo. And that Buffalo spot, that was a real good spot for Buffalo coming off. I believe it was like 6 or 7 losses. Got Yoki Haro back. I have nothing really on the side, Pete, here. The line's quite interesting. But I'm going to take both teams to score in the first period. I lean to the full game over too, guys. I think we can see some goals here, despite San Jose's 87% penalty kill. And these special team stats, Pistol, everyone in the chat, they're the last 10 games I like to look at. So these are the last 10 games special teams.
All right, so Gogi's on both teams to score in the first period. And yeah, the line seemed low to me, and now it's moved in San Jose's direction, as I'm sure you can see. Not a huge move, but a small move, even from the opening line. So that tells me why would money be coming in on San Jose here? Obviously, they're the play, right?
That's Are they the play? I'm thinking there's going to be goals. Team total over maybe on San Jose here. Just the 2.5 is probably heavily juiced. Another bet that you probably can find, guys, is I like taking both teams to score 2 goals. That's going to be about minus probably like 200, Pete. Take both teams to score possibly 3 goals here. You can probably get that at like plus 130, 140 maybe. I think we're going to see a back and forth game here between San Jose and Montreal. The side, I don't want my money on anything on the side. Goals is where we're looking at here in this game, guys.
Okay, looking at the comment section. Yeah, Rocco Rogers, I'm on over 6. This is probably the best over 6 on the board, probably, he says. DC Capper has hit us up with some college basketball plays. I'm going to copy those, and I will review them again at the end of the show. All right, so people are agreeing on the over. The market is definitely saying, as of right now, that San Jose is the side. Slatsy says, I hate this trend. Sharks 6-0 last 6 in Montreal and 9-1 last 10 overall. Interesting. John Todd, Sharks own the Canadians. Yeah. All right. So maybe
in the chat here, someone's asking about the power play there. Jake, they're saying they don't have a power play. I somewhat agree with that. It's Suzuki and Caulfield. They're the ones that are making that engine roar. 20% in the last few games. The 87% penalty kill against San Jose is interesting, but you have Kakinen in net. That's the thing. This guy's save percentage, goals against, goals saved above expected are all very below subpar. And you got a Montreal team that's playing good hockey. They've scored at least 3 goals. Well, they didn't score 3 against Buffalo, but they're a team that can score for the most part at home too. P. This is probably the best atmosphere in hockey, if you ask me. It should be a good game. I wouldn't talk anybody off San Jose, that's for sure. But I don't see like a 2-1 game here at all. I see like a 4-3.
And it's not a high total. All right, I'm not going to sit here and throw in a tying chip and just sit here for 10 minutes thinking about this. But I would definitely be leaning San Jose based on the line movement. The total is surprisingly low. I'm not sure what to make of that. Mr. Gokster in the comment section leaning over. And as far as the money is concerned, we have nothing really of note as of right now. Everything's on the over. All the money's coming in on the over, which makes sense, and nothing on the side. Everything's about split as far as the money is concerned. It does appear though that some early sharp action at least is on San Jose and has moved in their favor. All right, I guess let's go ahead.
One more thing, those past stats. I know you had Brent Burns on that team. That's a big defenseman you have on that team. They beat him 5-0 in 2021. They beat him 3-1 at Montreal back in 2018. But that's a solid defensive team for San Jose. Now they're still okay, but with this goaltending matchup, I'm not looking too much into these past trends there. I think we're going to see some goals. I think I've said it about 10 times.
Okay, I'm gonna hold off, and Rocco Rogers might sprinkle some on the over 7. All right, let's move on, Mr. Gokster. Next game on the card, very interesting card here: Tampa Bay, Boston. Right, Tampa Bay. Both these teams awesome, right? Boston just continuing to flat out roll. I don't know, people thought they were going to be okay to start the year, but no one that I listened to saw this coming. Boston being one of the absolute top 2 teams in the league. Tampa Bay on a back-to-back one at Buffalo in OT last night, and Vassy will be in. I'm sorry?
What a game that was, Pete. 5-4 comeback. Wow.
What a game. What a game.
You had that look like you had Buffalo there, Pete.
No. I was sleeping or looking at like second half lines in some minor college basketball game. But I trust you. If you say it was a great game, it was a great game. This is going to be a huge, intense game. I was thinking maybe under, maybe first period under. Both teams are great offensively though, so that does make me nervous. And I guess I don't know what to make the line. Boston is a healthy favorite, right? They were minus 160 on the overnight line. I'll check now to see what the line move has been, but it's hard to bet against either of these teams. I guess if you gave me a free play on a side, I couldn't not take Tampa Bay at that big of a line. But my first thought is under and first period under. What do you think, Gogi?
So Allmark was a little banged up there the last game. It looks like he's okay. Both goalies are they're on the ice, both Swayman and Allmark, but they've been both banged up slightly now. You have Derek Forbort back in the lineup. In this game, I have nothing really in this game, guys. Tampa Bay coming off that back-to-back. I'm right before the show. I was thinking more unders. You got only thing is though, Pete, you're looking at these penalty kills the last few games, 73% and 75%. You got power plays humming over 30%. So if any one of these teams get in the box, you're going to expect a couple power play goals more likely than not. Vasilevsky, he's only got a .035 goals saved above expected, Pete. That's not like what we're used to seeing from Vasilevsky.
Yeah.
Allmark's got 13.97. He's one of the top 3 goalies in the league with those numbers, but slight injury possibly last game. So coming off, whenever a goalie gets possibly banged up, as everyone knows in the chat, it's one thing you need is your goalie. And actually talking about Tampa Bay, Kucherov ran Luka Kokkonen there, and the team just went nuts, Pete. You should see it there on YouTube. They just beat the living snot out of them. Just because of how much, if you run the goalie in hockey, it's like lucky it's not a line brawl. Back in the day, it probably would have been, but yeah, you got to protect your goalie at all costs. And Allmark got a little banged up. He should be back in the lineup, but it looks, from what I'm seeing, I lean to the unders. You got to think this is a lower scoring game after that game for Tampa Bay. You got a much tougher defensive team in Boston. Lean to all unders here. If you guys, I'm not going to play it though. It's a lean, even no goal first 10, first period under, full game under. You got to think Vasilevsky. This is he hasn't looked that good, but it's a big game for him. If he blows this one too, yeah, they got some issues. But both teams are playing good hockey too, guys. 7-3 for Tampa Bay last 10 games, 8-2 for Boston. So it sounds like an under. It really does, Pete. I'm going to leave it at that.
All right. Well, I'll take it. I got to have a few bets on today's card. I think it's okay. I'll double up. I'll take full game and first period. Right now at Pinnacle, 6.5 minus 117. So I'll make that an official play. And also at Pinnacle, the first period under 1.5 at plus 123. That's the current line at Pinnacle. Can't believe I'm taking an under and feeling nervous just because Vassy's in goal. But that's the reality of Vasilevsky right now, isn't it?
It is. This is weird. This is just me from watching hockey, though. I think he's going to have this is a big game for him here. Like it's a back-to-back. They waited for him for this game. They played Buffalo. They says, no, Elliott, you start that game. Vasilevsky, we want you against Boston. We need you for this one. This is the tougher game. So
right.
It really feels like an under. It's just going to be, and this line's a little high in my opinion for Boston, -170. I get it, but I feel more comfortable with the unders here.
All right, let's look at the money in the comments section, and then we'll move on. As far as the money is concerned, very, very small line value on Boston as of right now, which I guess makes some sense. Wow, 80% of the tickets and 97% of the cash on Boston, and small line value on Boston. And wow, look at this big discrepancy in terms of the bet count and the money favoring the under. About 33% of the tickets on the under, 95% of the cash on the under. Wow, look at that. Look at that, Gogi. All right, well, I've doubled up on it. Go. What'd you say?
Oh, we're sniping the totals. We've called so far. We got the over in Montreal and the under. Both tickets have been leaning that way, so feel good.
All right, let's look at the comment section. Coin says Tampa on a back-to-back with OT strong lean to Boston, who are on a 12-game winning streak at home. Yeah, I mean, despite the high line, I mean, I guess like this is one of those situations where if you got two elite teams and one is like a surprisingly big favorite, that usually means that the favorite should be an even bigger favorite and has some value. I'm just going to stick with the unders for now. Interesting. Yeah, man. Boston, not taking Boston. Is that leaving money on the table?
I don't know. I'm on an island here with Tampa Bay. Man, I know they're coming off the back-to-back, but you're going up against like Kucherov, Stamkos, Point, Sergachev, Kaloran, Hagel.
Yeah.
Paul, Hedman. You got 2, 4, 6. You got 8 guys that are double-digit points. Like this is a good hockey team. This is a good hockey team. So, and you got one of the top goalies we know in the last 5 years, I'd say, in Vasilevsky. So,
all right.
I'm a little shaky on the Boston side. I personally, I'd leave it off, but I get why you guys are on it with the trends and everything.
But it's a pass for you overall as of this show, right?
Yeah, for side, it's a pass.
Okay, let's move on. Carolina, Pittsburgh. Here we go. Very interesting game. Carolina, awful win, but they have been 2-8 before that. A lot of OT losses, but still, something seems like something's wrong with this team, right? And then Pittsburgh off a loss, but they had won 5 in a row before that, playing well. Pittsburgh, I know, was not happy with that last game. They just, I don't know if you saw that game, but it was just a frustrating performance from Pittsburgh. I watched every second of it. And, this is another line similar to the San Jose line where I was thinking the line seems very, very fishy and low. Why would Pittsburgh be such a small favorite? They were like -112 on the overnight line against a team that's clearly struggling in Carolina. So again, similar to that one, I was like, it's so low that I'm gonna pass and for now. And if I have to take Pittsburgh at -125 because I love it later on, that's okay because the line didn't make sense to me. Wanted to hear what you had to say about it, and I was thinking, I don't know, maybe off of the frustrating game, Pittsburgh first period at least is a good play. What do you think, Gogi?
Yeah, first period, not a bad angle. This is a real tough one too. Between that Tampa Bay Boston and the Carolina Pittsburgh, I don't really have anything on these two games. All honesty, transparency. Let's talk about the goalie stats though. We have both goalies over 900 save percentage. Pete, goals against are under 3. Goals saved above expected.
Can we talk about something else first? Carolina, what's up with them? I thought they were supposed to. Alex B. Smith was like they're Stanley Cup contender, and suddenly they can't score, they can't win. What's wrong with this team?
Well, let me bring up the lineup here because it all starts with the lineup here. What do you mean my page isn't working here? Oh, great! Now my computer's not working. Okay, anyway, so Carolina here, Teravainen, he's a big key piece to the between being on the power play, just keeping the lines in sync. Teravainen, he could return soon. I'm trying to figure out here if he's coming back. That would be a big addition. I know it's one player, but to be honest, it's been their scoring by the looks of it, Pete. 14% power play, 82% penalty kill. You got a 93% penalty kill in Pittsburgh here. With Carolina, to be honest, reason I don't really have a straight up answer is I haven't caught as many Carolina games as I maybe should have. But just looking at their numbers and their roster's not coming up, but they haven't changed much. They added, here it is. Okay, Jarvis, Aho, Natchez. It's a team you're surprised they don't have more offense out of. You got Slavin, Burns. They should have guys that can get the puck up to their offense. Ranta's in net. Anderson, he's just been a complete shit show with him. Kochetkov. It's weird. This is just a team that's just when they get going, look out for them. Right now, they're off the tracks a bit. They're off the tracks a bit. That may be the best way to put it. They need better goaltending too. I don't know if I'd say that. Ranta's got a minus 0.61. What do you guys think in the chat here? I'd love to hear you guys. Billy here.
Yes.
They're the same team. They've been the past couple seasons trending as a question mark. Power play isn't working. Yeah, exactly. And really good defense and no secondary scoring. Now, that's just it. Secondary scoring. They got Martinuk, Stahl, Fost. Yeah, Stastny, Jimmy the Bag said it too. Stastny's been nowhere to be found on the fourth line. Stepan and Jury. They've actually got rid of a couple pieces there. One guy went to Minnesota. They lost a couple offensive pieces, and you know what? Maybe it is backfiring on this team a little more than you think. That 4-0 loss at home to Arizona. That is you got problems there if you're losing 4-0 at home to Arizona. 3-2 loss to Boston. Then they did get that win 3-2 at Carolina. I wouldn't talk anybody off Pittsburgh here, but a good hockey team that's not playing well. You never know. Yari is playing better, though. He's got the better goals saved above expected, Pete, plus 4.24. He's playing better hockey than what he was at the beginning of the year. 7-2. Pittsburgh's playing pretty. I would lean towards Pittsburgh here, even with that line being what it is, but I don't feel confident. I don't have any real strong side if it's with my stats, if it's with what I'm seeing from my numbers too. But yeah,
is there any reason to believe that the scoring will change here? Because you could take Carolina team total under 3.5 at like minus 155. They've only gotten to 4 goals, I think, once in the last 12 games or something like that.
Chris Letang, Pedersen, they've got a 93% penalty kill of late too. They're coming off a loss 4-1. I would, yeah. What's that 3.5 pistol?
Minus 155, but still, they've only hit it once out of the last like 11 or 12 games or something. Let's look at the comments section because clearly, as of right now, Gogi and I are lost. Lucas Ryan, says give me the Penguins. Ruger H4 says Penguins. Billy Friedrich giving us some insights into Carolina. Here we go. The Canes defense always makes their goaltending look better than what it really is. Look at the guys they've had the past few seasons. Wow.
Yes.
That makes sense to you?
Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah. And another thing is when you see a goalie with a 2.47 goals against, but his goals saved above expected is in the minus. That just tells you that the defense is saving it. If he had his goals saved above expected even higher, that means he's saving their team's bacon, right? So yeah, Ranta's numbers are a little skewed. Like Ranta was the backup for Arizona. He's got a lot. Like they don't have their goaltending situations not the greatest. And with Pittsburgh here, they've looked pretty. They've looked really good actually. Defensively, 3-0 against Winnipeg, 4-1 Philly, 4-3 Calgary, and you got a Carolina team that's not really scoring. Yeah, team total under Carolina. I wouldn't talk you up that, Pete. Even Pittsburgh money line. I don't know why I don't want to take this one. It makes sense, guys. It does. Yeah, that was the lost Niederreiter. Thank you, Billy. That's and then there's another one there. Trocheck and D'Angelo. They've lost a lot of pieces. Carolina. Those are 3 big names. They were a good hockey team last year. I thought they'd even win the cup, but they got maybe more problems than people think underneath the whatever you want to call it. But yeah, they've lost some pieces, and I would lean towards Pittsburgh here. Why is that line minus 113 though, eh?
And here's some information for you, Gogi. Again, and this is only at 11:30 Eastern time, so things could change by the time the games are all going. But as of right now, there's about 33% line value on Carolina, according to this site we look at, and that has the most line value out of any of the NHL games tonight. Not less than half line value, but still. A little bit of solid line value on Carolina, about 50% of the tickets and about 65% of the cash on Carolina and about 33% line value on Carolina. And the tickets are all so far coming in on the over. Well, not all, about the 2/3. Go ahead.
I would be more on the under. I'm going to stay off the side here. I'm just looking back to Carolina. They beat Calgary, guys, on the road, and Calgary were coming off. Like, they lost their last, I think it was 3 or 4. So Calgary, you would have thought Calgary would have probably came back and would have won that game. But Carolina, maybe that was the game they woke up. last game, because that is an impressive win. Now they're going on the road again to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh coming out that 4. It feels like an under more and more. I'm thinking about it. You know, Pittsburgh coming out that 4-1 loss. They're going to be accountable defensively. Both teams' power plays are below 15%. The penalty kills are above 80. Maybe the under could be first period full game. That's where I would. I'm a lot of totals today. That's where I would be leaning.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will say, even if Carolina does prove to be the sharp side, maybe they'll win a 3-1 or 3-2. I'll make Carolina team total under 3.5 minus 155 an official play. Pittsburgh has got to be a little salty after last game. Jarry should be good. So even if they lose, maybe it'll be low scoring. 3.5 minus 155. And then I want to take Pittsburgh first period or full game, but I don't know. Or maybe just the total under. Tough one.
It is, and I real quickly here before we move on. I know we're trying to be sweet, short and sweet here, but and I want to look away for you, Pete. I want to look at home. Sorry, Pittsburgh. What are they at home? Quickly, they're 3-3-2. But again, these trends I don't look too much into. I think under. I really do. Even a no goal first 10 minutes. More I'm thinking about it. Carolina, defensively they have no issues. It's just them scoring, and Pittsburgh's going to come back pretty pissed off, I'd say, that 4-1 loss. People in the chat, you guys were saying too, how they just nothing was going their way. Even I think that was you actually, Pete. Nothing was going their way. So under's making sense here.
All right. Yeah. Shout out to Nutflush Allen in the comments section. Man, God, I want to take Pittsburgh first, but I won't. I'll just stick with the Carolina team total under, and maybe the full game under has some value as well. I don't know, but let's move on, Gogi. All right, Isles, Philly. Second of a home and home. The Isles won the first game 5-2. Philly, of course, expected to be terrible this year. Started out the season, cashing, playing much better than expected, and now they've lost 10 in a row, regressing back to their preseason expectations. Isles been playing well, won 4 in a row. I know there was a big fight at the end of the last game. I don't know if you saw that, Gogi, but great fights at the end of the last game. So maybe both these teams will be salty here. I'm not sure. Maybe Philly. Obviously, the question is, how bad are they really? Are they good enough to come in and at least get a first period win against the team on a home and home where they were fighting at the end of the last game? Are they good enough to do that? I don't know. What do you think? Philly first period?
Sorokin and Hart here. Both goalies actually, like this is an example of a goalie who's saving their ass. His save percentage is .913, goals against 2.91. But his goals saved above expected is 0.42. So he's saving the team's ass. Yet he's almost got a save percentage over 0.90. But looking at Sorokin, Pete, this is probably, I'd say I trust this guy to be probably the best goalie in the league right now. I'm saying Ilya Sorokin, 0.933 save percentage, 2.19 goals against. He's got a 14.23 goals saved, a 14.23 goals saved above expected. They got a good defense in front of them. With Philadelphia here, this 5-2 loss at the Islanders. Whenever you have a back-to-back, you guys know in the chat here that Philly's going to come back. Probably, they're going to put their best foot forward here, and eventually they're going to have some guys back. Konechny's out, Lawton's out, but Cam Atkinson, one of their offensive players, Pete, I believe he's assistant captain, even possibly captain. He's going to be back. He's day-to-day soon. I don't think he's back tonight, but he should be back soon. So I'd have to lean towards, not lean. I have to take the Islanders right now, despite the back-to-back. This is just a bad hockey team. 7% power play, 60% penalty kill in the last 10 games, and you're going up against a team that's got a 34% power play. Paul Mary's going to be out. Okay, that slightly hurts them a little bit, but they also have a 72% penalty kill. But Philly hasn't been able to do anything on the power play. So another team total under on Philly, guys, 2.5. But I'm going to take the regulation pistol. Minus 115 was the current line. I don't know if anyone in the chat can find better, but have a hard time seeing Philly win this one, despite they've lost. They're 0-7-3, so they're really hurting for a dub. But until they get some more guys back, I don't think Sorokin and the Islanders are the team they're going to get it done against.
Yeah. Billy Friedrich says fade Flyers first period until further notice. They are 1-9-12 in the first period this season. It's just, this is a home and home against a team that there was, some fighting in the last game. So it's a little bit of a unique situation, right? Or am I wrong about that?
No, yeah. So that just tells you there it's going to be a gritty game. Like, I just don't know if they have enough to beat them. I don't think it's going to be a high stat 5-2. Don't expect another high scoring game.
Right.
Philly came in there, pissed off last night. They're going to come out. I don't want to talk anybody off Philadelphia or Islanders first period, but when Philadelphia is going to come in pretty pissed off, at least the first period. I don't think 60 minutes they're good enough hockey team to beat the Islanders, despite Hart is a good goalie, but under feels like would be the play here on the back-to-back 5-2. I just want to confirm too, Pete. You need Sorokin and Hart. Last thing you need is, Varlamov's been okay, but you can't have Sandstrom in net for. Well, if you have Sandstrom in net for Philly,
Hart's confirmed. Hart's confirmed. And Sorokin upgraded to likely.
Okay, that's perfect. And I would lean towards some unders here, even a Philadelphia team total under. But I'm going to pull the trigger, guys. Regulation on three-way. That is Islanders -115. That's official.
Okay. Well, with the money, the sharp action so far is also fading Philly even as a dog. Let's see. Wow. The much bigger bets coming in on Philly, but the sharper bets supposedly coming in on the Islanders based on what we look at here, based on this website. About 85% of the tickets on the Islanders, only 25% of the money on the Islanders, and yet small line value on the Islanders according to this site, and almost everything is on the under. 66% of the tickets, 99% of the cash on the under. The under has moved down. It was 6 on the overnight line. Now it's down to 5.5. That makes sense to me, and I'll make that an official play as well. I don't want to. I'm going to be a little safe here. I'm not going to take the 5.5. I'll take the Pinnacle 6 line, which is -135. That's not a good line, but I'll take that just to be a little bit safe here. Islanders, Philly, under 6 -135. That's the current line of Pinnacle right now. I'll make that official. And anything official for you, Gogi, again?
Yeah, I got the Islanders regulation, 60 minutes. I'm going to take a -115, Pete.
All right, sounds good. And the comment section is Justin McIvy says Islanders in regulation. Nutflush Allen, everyone listen, telling you now, we will get plenty of value on Philly team totals really soon.
Yes.
Interesting.
100%.
I assume he means over. Over.
Yeah. Where is it here? So Atkinson should be returning soon. Konechny, I think Konechny and Lawton are not long-term, but JVR and Couturier are. So they should get a couple guys back. But one thing I can tell you about Philly, guys, they don't have their farm system. From what I know, at least for the last few years, they don't have a lot of offense coming out of their farm system. They got some defensive players, but they don't have a lot of offense. Actually, Rasmus Sandin's brother, I believe, still plays for Lehigh. So they don't have a lot of offense. That's the only thing. So once they do get those guys back, I think, there very well could be some offense. And one thing I want to talk about first period totals for the Islanders, guys. Get this, Pete. They're 6 and 16 to the under, or sorry, 16 and 6 to the under. So they've only gone over in the first period 6 times. They've gone under 16. And what are we getting on the if that's plus money, I might have to take that, actually. I might have to
Okay, I do want to keep brisk pace, but very quickly, Billy Friedrich says I'm off the under in this one. Bad blood could lead to a lot of power plays. Does that make sense to you?
Power plays,
because of the bad blood, more penalties.
Honestly, refs. It depends on the ref, because I watched the game Ottawa LA Kings. There was no penalty till the second period, and there could have been some calls. So it all depends on the ref. You can really tell early in a game how the ref's going to call it, right? So it's going to be a physical game. I don't expect the ref to call too many penalties. They know this is going to be a gritty game, especially after what happened the last game. So I can only hope, if they get trigger happy with these calls, then I think that only helps the Islanders more, because you got a 7% power play for Philly and a 34% power play for the Islanders and a 60% penalty kill, which is probably the worst in the last 10 games for any team. So team total over for the Islanders could even possibly hit. But again, I think with what happened last game, and I think Philly's going to come in pretty pissed off, and it's 16 and 6 to the under, Pete. And if I'm looking right now, shit, that's the wrong game, but I'm going to take that. I'm going to take first period under. I was a little hesitant there. First period under. I'm going to take it though. First period under plus 105, plus 150. No, sorry, plus 100 is what I'm going to take there, Pete. I'm going to add that on, guys. I really think. I think this is.
Yeah, that was on my list as well. All right, we have to pick it up a little bit. We got a bunch more games to go. Anaheim, Nashville. Nashville, a huge favorite, of course. Anaheim in general has been bad. One of the worst teams in the NHL. I think they have the fewest points actually in the NHL. Just losing game in and game out. And Nashville, a mediocre team, but they're off a loss. Won 4 or 5 before that. They haven't played for a while, so that could be good for them or bad if you think they'll be a little bit rusty and maybe not looking taking Anaheim as seriously as they should. Nashville's a huge favorite. What do you think?
Well, Anaheim, Nashville, Stolars and Saros. You don't have Gibson in that, so really Gibson's this team, Pete. They don't have any real defense in front of them, and you also have possibly Klingberg's day to day. Gibson's also day to day. So Saros, both of these goalies. Saros is starting to slowly get a little bit better, but both goalies got goals against over 3, which is. I would expect better regression going towards Nashville, Saros, and Stolars. 5-4 loss for Anaheim. Anaheim can score, Pete. It's clear as day, clear as mud, as they say. They can score. It's just, in my opinion, just stopping the puck. They have troubles. This game, short and sweet. I'm going to take some goals. We have both penalty kills are subpar. 67% for Anaheim, 78% for Nashville. Only worry would be maybe Anaheim not scoring early, but I'm going to take some goals to be scored here. Injury report real quick. Yeah, there's nothing really for Nashville for me that caught my eye. So in this game, it's Anaheim's DNA is offense. Maybe if they want to win games, they're going to have to be a little more accountable defensively, but I just don't know if they have that. Nashville, on the other hand, they're slowly getting better from that real stinker they had beginning of the season. Coming off a 3-0 loss to Nashville, 5-4 loss against Seattle for Anaheim. Only worry would be maybe Nashville just shuts out Anaheim in the first period, but I really do think I think there's going to be goals. This is one of my stronger leans, I guess you could say, but I'm going to go first period, Pete, both teams to score. It's plus 140. Saros has been he's been proven he can be beaten all year, and there's no injuries to the offense for Anaheim. So I think
okay. As of right now, nothing on the money. Everything is mostly split, about 50% on both sides. Slightly more tickets on the under for this game, but nothing of note. As of right now, let's look at the comment section, see if anyone has anything on this one. Gary Tenebro likes the Ducks puck line. Flatsy says
Gary.
the Ducks are. Go ahead. What?
Wow, Gary, you like the puck line, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Holy, there's that would be yeah. So if Gary likes the puck line, he's got to be on board with me with both teams score first period. I'd imagine plus 140 was plus 160, so a little bit of money came in on that. What else is Chad saying?
Yeah, they're just saying, Nuke Worker says only 30 likes. What the fuck? Nuke, the show's not that good. That's what the fuck. It's just not that good of a show. When you don't have a good show, you're not going to get the likes. You know what I'm saying, Flatsy? That means
when the bank account and the account looks, it's got a couple more zeros in it at the end of the day. It's
right.
It'll talk
I hear you. All right. So all right. Probably some props that have some good bets. Stoney, shout out to OG Wham. Yeah, all right. It's gonna be a pass for me. Something, my absolute gut with absolutely zero data to back it up says that this might be an Anaheim spot just because they've been so bad. What'd you say?
Well, Klingberg not in the lineup, guys. That's 7. He's got 7 assists. Like that's a guy he produces offense on that back line. He is a minus 12 on the year. The whole team's is minus plus minus, but I would lean towards Nashville in this game, but I think gold, maybe a Nashville team total over too until Anaheim can stop somebody. Yeah. Okay. It'll be a pass for me. Let's move on. Colorado, Winnipeg. This is interesting. 2 awesome teams, right? Colorado rolling, Winnipeg also rolling off of 2 high-scoring road wins. Now they come home. Not sure at all. I was initially thinking Colorado first period as a modest road favorite. What do you think? This is one I got a lot of action on, guys. We're gonna rock and roll here. Georgiev numbers, goals saved above expected, probably second best. This guy right here, Pete Georgiev, from the Rangers, he's been really good, like really good. 0.934 save percentage, 2.29 goals against, and that's been without like Byram. They haven't had Girard. They've been missing a couple of their defensemen too, and yet he's still stepped up with the AHLers coming in. He's got a 13.39 goals saved above expected. Hellebuck in the handy. He's been great until otherwise. He's got a 0.926 goals saved above, save percentage, 2.43 goals against, 11.3 goals saved above expected. So combined, you have about 24 plus 24 goals saved above expected. So right away, if you know where I'm getting at, Pete, here, under. There should not be many goals here. And also first period over under. Get this, Winnipeg first period over under 7-1-1. So they've only gone over once in the first period at home. And Colorado's 4-2-3, 4 overs, 2 unders, 3 pushes. This just really smells like an under game, Pete. With this goaltending matchup, power plays. Now the power plays are humming, 30% for Colorado, 26% for Winnipeg, but then the penalty kills are over 80%. So it kind of washes that, in my opinion. Both teams are 8-2, 7-3, so they're playing good hockey. I like that. That kind of tells me when I got a team that's maybe 2-8 or 3-7, they can't stop the puck. They've been having problems there. But you have two teams that are playing really good hockey. This just smells like an under. I'm going to take it 3 ways. I'm going to really tune into this game tonight, guys. We're going to take no goal first 10 minutes, plus 125 pistol. First period under, plus 115. Love that. And full game under. I believe under 6, minus 115 was the best line I found.
All right. An interesting game. Tell us in the comment section what you think. There's some interesting money here. About 40% of the tickets, but 80% of the cash on Winnipeg, and very, very small line value as of right now on Winnipeg. Of course, that could change by the time the game goes. But as of right now, much bigger bets coming in on Winnipeg and small line value, according to this website. And about 2/3 of the bets are coming in on the over, and maybe some. What'd you say?
I was hoping that you're going to say under there.
You know, it could change, but yeah, it does look like there's a little bit of sharp action in the bigger bets as of right now, or the majority of the bets coming in on the over. But that could easily change. I think I'm gonna. Man, I'm definitely going to pass on this one as far as a pick and a bet is concerned. Very interesting that Winnipeg is getting the early love just a little bit, and the over getting the early love just a little bit as well. But that could flip hardcore by the time the game goes. Let's look at it, see if anyone has any opinions. Yeah, Billy Friedrich, I'm on Avs first period. That I was thinking that as well. Yeah, I was thinking. A little typo in the graphics. 8.5. Come on, we're not going to get likes if we're putting up 8.5 totals in the. That's one of the many reasons we're not getting any likes on this show.
Give me minus 110. I'll put my house up on my 8.5. Holy Jesus.
No, most of the reasons that we don't get likes is my fault, but not 100%.
Hold on.
Not 100% of it is my fault.
Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
Yeah.
Hit the like
button. Let me see. All right. So I was thinking Avs first period as well. Yep. Some early sharp money supposedly on Winnipeg. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna pass for you. Oh no, you're on all the unders, right?
No, we're going 3 ways till Sunday here. I can even see a 0-0 after the first. I'm rock and roll. No goal first 10, first period under, and full game under 6. 2 of those are plus money. So with this goaltending matchup, this should be a good one. I don't see both of them. These offenses are they're decent. You got for the most part healthy Colorado, Rodriguez, Byram, and not looking at Winnipeg. They're pretty much healthy. So
all right,
I'm going to trust these goaltending. This is the best goaltending matchup on the whole card, in my opinion. So I have to take it.
DC Capper liking Colorado and the over. So we'll see where this line closes. That'll be interesting. I'll have my eye on that. Florida Calgary is the next game. Florida, of course, played last night, lost at Edmonton in OT. And again, Florida, one of these teams that was supposed to be, we all sort of knew they were going to be less good than they were last year, but now they've lost 5 out of their last 6. Calgary, very streaky. They've lost 3 in a row, but before that, they had won 4 of 5. And before that, they were on a losing streak. So, and both goalies struggling here. So I was thinking, I don't know, maybe Florida team total over. Florida has been an over machine lately. And then again, this is the Calgary star. Tkachuk is coming back to Calgary, right, for the first time since being traded. So you got that going. Panthers, of course, without Barkov is, that's obviously hurting them. This is I don't know what to make of this one. Florida's been an over machine, that's for sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, here's one thing. They don't have Barkov.
Right.
So Florida missing Alexander Barkov is like, missing the electricity to your house. It's not good. So you got Nick Cousins. Shout out to Belleville. My guy Nick Cousins grew up with this guy. He's on the first line with Sam Bennett and Tkachuk. So I love you, Cuzzy, but him on the first line, you're not getting a lot of offense. You're getting a guy in front of the net. Just pretty kind of a two-way player, but he's not a first-line player, in my opinion. You got Reinhart, Lindell, Verhaeghe. This isn't a team until they get their electricity back, as in Barkov. I can't take Florida with any trust, despite Tkachuk coming up against his old team. Calgary, they're not playing good hockey either. They've lost their last 3 games. Carolina, Washington, and Pittsburgh. All 3 of those teams, my opinion, are good. Washington may be a little bit weaker, but penalty kill about 80% for both teams. Now, Florida's power play has been 33%. So when they get on the power play, that's when they have been scoring. It's been 5-on-5. It's been a little bit of a standstill, but goaltending matchup here, both teams goals saved above expected, -5, -6, combined -12. I'm getting at here, guys. We're taking both teams to score. Florida, Calgary pistol. First period is +135. I'm expecting Florida to come out. Both teams, Calgary, they want to be as accountable defensively they have to be. It's been the scoring that's been the problem. They only had 2 against Carolina, 0 against Washington, and 3 against Pittsburgh. So this is a good team. I think they should be able to score against. And you got Tkachuk coming back to Calgary. I would lean towards Calgary too.
Yeah. All right. First of all, I am going to add on one play. Billy Friedrich, he likes Avs first period. He says the Avs have been great first period. He posted some stats here. Jets are 2-4-4, last 10 in the first period. That was my lean as well. But I kind of, looked at the betting action and everything, so I kind of got scared and held off. But I'm going to make that. Go ahead.
Pull that trigger, Pester.
Yeah, I'm going to make that official. Avs first period -121. That's the current line at Pinnacle. I'll make that an official play. All right. Yeah, Gogi liking overs here, and Florida has been a big over machine. Let's see.
They can't close the door on anything. They can't close the door, though. Like Barkov, too, Pete, he's going to be back. They say just 2 games, so it was last game and this game. So going forward, the next game Florida plays, I'm going to be on Florida more likely than not.
Yeah,
it's just without Barkov. And this is a big game for Calgary, as much as it is for Tkachuk. You got Weegar and Huberdeau going up against Florida.
Yeah. All right, so about 3/4 of the tickets are on Calgary, and very small line value as of right now on Calgary, and about 56% of the tickets and 66% of the cash on the over. So some slight favoritism for the over as of right now. And I guess I'm gonna and then as far as the Tkachuk issue, Slatsy is just saying just because of the revenge issue, shot prop on him, not necessarily to take.
Yes, Slatsy. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Because with Cuzzy there on that first line, that's what I'm seeing. I wouldn't, he's okay. I love you, Cuzzy, but
he's been playing great too, as well. So it's revenge, and he's playing great.
Yeah, shot prop. I'd take it at least over 3.5. -150 there, Slatsy. Love to hear what it is.
Excellent. And Coin leans Calgary though on the money line.
Yeah, money line's a little juicy. I'm seeing 150, 155. Calgary team total over. I would have no qualms with that. Both teams to score first period. That's what I'm playing. +135.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's move on. Washington and Vancouver. Vancouver, of course, started the season horribly. Now they've won 5 out of the last 6. Have they turned it around? We'll see what the comment section and Mr. Gokster have to say. And then Washington, off a loss, New Jersey. That's forgivable, but they had won 2 in a row before that. But before that, in general, not very good. And in general, definitely a beatable team. against a team with some life to them, which is definitely Vancouver as of right now, unless there's some reason to believe that their winning ways will stop now that they're returning from a 3-game trip. But they've absolutely been rolling. And when a team has high expectations and really craps the bed to start the year, and then they get on they find their footing and get on a winning run, I like to bet that until it clearly has ended. So, even though they've won 5 out of their last 6, might be worth betting into. What do you think?
Well, yeah, you made some really good points there. As you were talking there, Pete, I had to bring up just what Vancouver's done offensively, and their assist, guys, is just as important as goals. Pedersen's got 16, Miller's got 12, Kuzmenko 10. Those are all forwards. Quinn Hughes, Pete, the guy hasn't got a goal all year. He's got 21 assists, and that's in 18 games. That's just, he's a key part to the back end. If it's defensively, he's okay, but he's just produces so much offense. Ekman Larsson's got 10, Besser's got 11. What I have down in all transparency, I really want to talk this one out a little bit, Pete, is I have Washington written down, to be honest here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to, they 4-3 win against San Jose, 5-1 against Vegas, 4-3 against Colorado. I don't want to get cute here with taking black when it's hitting roulette. That's kind of what I'm doing here. Kemper, too, he's going to be starting. He's been solid. He's the better of the 2 goalies. It always starts with me with goaltending. 0.914 versus a 0.884 in Demko. -9 versus +4 for Kemper. I do expect Demko to be better. We saw how he was last year. I don't think he's fallen off the map completely. But Washington coming off that 5-1 loss at the Devils. They won 3-0 against Calgary, 3-2 against Philly. I think eventually this is going to be a bet on team 2 once they get back Kuznetsov and Wilson. Once they get those 2 guys back here, sorry, not Kuznetsov, Backstrom and Wilson. Once they get those 2 guys back, they're skating. So this is eventually going to be a bet on team because I think Kemper's going to be okay. I think they can take him far enough. First period money line, Washington's only 2-6-3 away. What do you guys think in the chat, Pete? What's everyone saying in the chat? I'm still kind of humming and hawing. What do you guys think in the chat?
Yeah, I am way off this one. The money isn't shedding any clear picture as of right now either. And no one real. Slatsy saying the Caps 5-1 last 6 in Vancouver and over 5-0 last 5 in Vancouver. So, but he's not saying he likes them. Just quoting that stat. It's going to be a pass for me. And again, the money. It looks like as of right now, the bigger bets are on Vancouver, but no line value on either side as of right now. More money coming in on the over just a little bit. So the market seems a little bit confused as well about this one, which makes a lot of sense.
Well, I wouldn't. One thing Vancouver's doing is they're scoring. Both penalty kills, though. I think there could be goals here. I'm going to stick with Washington, Pete. I really am. This is even though they're missing a couple guys, Ovechkin, Strome, Sheary, Milano, Kuznetsov, Oshie, Johansson's on the third line with Eller and Mantha. That's a decent third line. Within fourth line's Hathaway, Dowd, and Protas. Other than Protas, this is an NHL lineup. Gustafsson, it's Orlov too. They're missing Orlov on the back end, so that hurts them a bit too. I was gonna do 3 plays here. I was gonna take the team total over on Washington too. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take Washington first period, and I'm gonna take them full game. I'm gonna try. This is more of a gut feel play than a lot of stats would maybe. Despite it, 5-0 their slats. He told me Vancouver's been, but they haven't been the greatest in the first period away. But I don't want to say fat and happy, but I think Vancouver's a little fat and happy right now. And Washington, they're gonna need to start getting her going, move her in gear, put her in high gear. Both teams are 9-11, 9-10. I'm going to trust Washington here. It could be a bit of a plug your nose, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And you know what? I'm actually, Calgary is not a bad team, are they?
No, not at all.
I'm going to add on. I don't like the spot for Florida as an official play. I'm going to add on just Calgary money line -148 as current line at Pinnacle. I'm going to add that one on as well. Calgary -148. All right. I'm adding plays out of order here, but that's okay. All right, let's move on to the last one. You ready, Gogi?
Yeah, just before you go on there, Pete, First period, Washington, guys, I'm going to take that. It's +100, and then full game money line on Washington's +105. I'm gonna trust the Caps here, despite Vancouver team that's playing good.
Okay, great. Seattle and LA, another team that's playing great. Seattle, wow, right? 5 straight wins, 10-2 in their last 12. LA, they've lost a bunch, but they had been winning before that. And this is another line where I was like, the third line on the card with an overnight line that was suspiciously and surprisingly low, suspiciously and surprisingly low for Seattle. I was thinking, why would LA be a favorite here? I know that LA has the capability of being a solid team, especially at home. But Seattle playing great. No reason to believe that would end here unless you have a reason. It was head scratching to me. Seattle's been exploding offensively recently, so maybe it's a spot to time them to calm down a little bit offensively. But I wasn't quite understanding this line on the overnight line. Can you shed a little light on it, Gogi?
So here's the big one here, Pete. There's a guy named Velarde. His first name slipped my mind, but Velarde, a good Italian kid. He's a sniper. He was out last game against Ottawa. He should be back. But in 80-90%, he's back in the lineup. With him back, I know it's one player, but they were missing a little more offense. Kyliev, this guy Kyliev, I could be butchering his name, but he is a sniper for the Kings. He scored 2 goals on the power play. Their power play, this is the game I watched, LA and Ottawa. The power play for the Kings was damn good. And you got a penalty kill in Seattle, guys. The last 10 games, 69%. What's the Kings? 69%. So both teams are having troubles on the penalty kill. The Kings are definitely, I think, going to come with a much better performance here, Pete. That 3-2 game, Ottawa really put it to them. They really did. Quick was okay. He's got a below side. They both goalies for the most part have below 9.9 save percentage. Goal saved above expected is also slightly in the negative. Seattle, I was big on this team all year, Pete. Beginning of the year, the additions they had, Burakovsky. I got a healthy Tanev now. They brought in another guy that slipped my mind, but this is a much improved team, and it all starts with goaltending with Seattle. Jones is playing better, but also so is their defense. So with that being said about their defense, the Kings, I think, are going to come up firing. Seattle can do the same. Both teams to score, guys, first period. And you know what, Pete? I'm going to double down. I'm going to take the full game over 6 I found just before the show. I'm not sure if it's still there. What do we have here? Yeah, I'm going to take over 6 minus 112. I think we're going to see some goals between both these teams, and goaltending's kind of suspect on both sides.
Yeah, interesting stuff here in the comments section. People are liking Seattle. Let's see, where is it? All the people who are, Andrew G. Unleash the Kraken. Mad Stoney says Seattle all the way. As far as the money is concerned, as of right now, very, very small line value on LA. That could change, but as of right now, very small line value on LA. A slight majority of the bets are on Seattle, but according to this site, some of the sharper bets are on LA, and 80% of the tickets, are on the over.
Yep.
And 80% of tickets are on the over, and no supposed sharp action as of yet, as far as the total is concerned. But the majority of the tickets are on the over. That makes sense to me. I mean, Seattle obviously has been absolutely explosive offensively. That makes sense to me. I think I'm going to hold off though.
This is probably my favorite over on the card. Both
Really?
teams score too. Yeah, it is. Kings are going to come out with Velarde back too, Pete. This is one guy, but it's kind of, you see him out there. Like they got another offensive player. They really had a bad game last game against Ottawa. Seattle's they beat San Jose, they beat Anaheim. Okay, you beat Vegas too, but 8-5, 4-2, 5-4. It's not like they've been really too good defensively. They're scoring. It's been high scoring games. This game, it could get to the 10s. I think this could be a real shooter with penalty kills are below 70% too. Like this, and there wasn't many calls. I know this is kind of a weird angle, but there wasn't many calls in that Kings Ottawa game. There wasn't one until the second period. So, but the harder teams play too. That just whenever you don't see any penalties, guys. That tells you that it's just like start skating, guys. Start forcing the other team to make a penalty. So the Kings, they're going to put a better foot forward here. If anything, it's Seattle. Hopefully Seattle doesn't lay a stinker here because they've looked really good of late. But I expect some goals here. I'm going to take first period. Both teams, as I said, plus 145 and over 6.
Okay, yeah, the market has moved a little bit in the Kings' favor. Just listening to what you guys have to say, maybe the Kings are. That would explain why they're a favorite and why the line has moved in their direction. This guy's just breathing life and energy into the entire team.
Velarde, like I'll bring up the Kings really quickly, but yeah, this guy's he's the real deal. With Kylie, they have more offense. And that last game they had against Ottawa, where is he here? Velarde, he's got 11 goals and 5 assists, Pete. The next closest guy is 8. That's Kylie, the guy I'm talking about. This guy's got double-digit goals. He's only got 5 assists, 15, 11, 13 assists. They got a lot of guys that can set people up. They need more goal scorers. Kylie and Velarde. That's the guy they were missing against Ottawa. He's going to be back. There should be some goals here. Kempe too.
God, so maybe the Kings team total over, but 3.5 is just so hard for them. They just don't get that. They just don't get
2.5. Oh, it's probably high juice. Yeah, way too high.
Yeah, I'm seeing. All right. Well, an interesting card, Mr. Gokster. Let's review all of our official plays. I'll go first. Officially, I've got Tampa Bay Boston under 6.5 minus 117, and the first period under 1.5 plus 123. Carolina Panthers team total under 3.5 minus 155. That might have been a mistake, but whatever, I'll go with it. Islanders Philly under 6 minus 135. Avs first period minus 121, and Calgary full game money line minus 148. What do you have officially, Gogi? Remind us.
It's rock. So shout out to MMA Locker Room, my guy here. MMA, got to get some hockey stuff for him. So the best 3 teams, just from what I'm seeing, team totals over there. MMA, Dallas 16-7, Seattle 16-5, Buffalo 15-7. Boom, those are your 3. Looking at the picks here, guys. I'm going to stay off Tampa Bay, Boston. I have a lean to the under. San Jose, Montreal, first period, both teams to score, plus 145. Islanders and Reg, minus 115, along with the under in the first period, plus 100. 3 ways on Colorado, Winnipeg, Pete. No goal, first 10. First period under, full game under 6. Plus 125, plus 110, minus 115. Anaheim, Nashville, both teams to score, plus 140. That's in the first period. Florida, Calgary, first period, both teams to score, plus 135. We're going to rock and roll with Washington here, kind of plug the old nose, go for a dive. Hopefully come out with Washington on top, first period money line and full game money line. And then probably the favorite play where I'm talking about it, Seattle, LA. Both teams to score in the first period and full game over 6 to cap off the card.
Awesome show, Mr. Gokster. I hope the majority of your picks win tonight. And we'll see you again next Tuesday, Gogi.
See you next Tuesday. Shout out everyone in the chat. We'll see you guys Thursday with Give Me the Bag.
Hell yeah. All right. That was NHL. Now we got thanks to the comment section for all your extremely helpful insights. Now we got 3 NBA games and just 3 games, but all of them are interesting. And I don't feel lost on these 3 games. I feel like maybe there's some plays with some legitimate value. I haven't pulled the trigger on them yet. Because I just wanted to hear what our guest has to say and what the comment section has to say. The NBA analyst for today's show, please welcome to the show, Trotman. Hell yeah, Trotman. Yeah. 3 interesting games today, 3 tough games. I think, a lot of times I'm like, I don't know, completely lost. I'm going to make one official pick anyway. I don't know what it's going to be. Right. That's not the case with today's show. There's 3 games, a couple plays I think I might be really liking. We'll see what you have to say. Trotman, how's the NBA going for you in general right now?
Oh, yeah, man. We're playing really good, bro. We're starting off really good. We're seeing the board well. Player props are showing out for us. Sides, when we do take the sides, they actually have been cashing in. So I'm feeling good. Yesterday, we're coming off a pretty good day. I only lost 2 bets. And the other one, man, the one that I did lose that hurt me the most was the Lakers. After them, up by 17 points in the fourth quarter. Thought my minus 3.5 was good money. Did cash in that game though, so I still won inside that game because I had the first half in the Lakers. They took care of business there, and also had the Halliburton assists and the rebounds for AD. So yeah, it worked out, but that one hurt though, bro. That Lakers one hurt. Best bet won yesterday too. Jabari Smith Jr. Over 2.5 3-point makes. That was a good money shot. I think we're going to keep that same energy today because I did lock in 1 bet. Just like you said, I do have some bets that I am leaning here. I want to talk to the legend about them first, but I did lock in 1 official play so far. Tweeted that out already. So we're ready to rock and roll, brother. Can't wait to be. I'm glad to be here. Can't wait to break them down with you.
Let's go for it, Trotman. All right, first game, Knicks, Detroit. Knicks, underachieving season for them in Detroit. I feel like I was talking about this last week from the beginning of the year. Detroit is classic every year in the NBA. The NBA has changed a lot, but in one way it hasn't changed. Every year you see a bad team that's losing straight up, game in and game out. but covering more often than not. And Detroit has definitely been that team this year so far in the NBA, and I've been on them a few times as well. Now they're a small home dog to Detroit, and the Knicks are frustrated. It's kind of a weird spot for them. They're going on the road and then going back home after this one. So I was thinking, and a bunch of Detroit has some injuries as well.
Yeah.
I was thinking under here. If you gave me a free play, definitely I'd throw it on Detroit. But the Knicks are a little salty too, I think. I was thinking they'll be up. I was thinking under. What do you think? What's your take on this game in general, Trotwam?
You know what? That makes sense to me. I think that makes a lot of sense here because you're getting guys that's coming back for Detroit that are just defensive type minded type guys. And Isaiah Stewart, he's going to be likely to play in there.
Mm-hmm.
Last game for the Pistons, you seen Marvin Bagley pretty much turn back the clock. Looked like he was a lottery pick last game. Just couldn't do anything wrong. Had the double, hitting threes. Pretty much got cooked there. I'm just concerned because the way the Knicks, they should lock in. Both of these teams are off of back-to-back losses. It's just a tough team in this Pistons team. They've been pretty. I mean, I wouldn't say that they've been priced correctly, but they've been catching everyone off guard. In the first half, for example, they're 5-0 ATS in the first half over the last 5 games. They've been killing early in that span. And the Knicks, they don't seem to have it really as far as they don't have that mojo in the first half like they do at the house. At the house, the Knicks are pretty good, 6-3 so far this year at the house, but on the road, they're 6-5 as far as first half ATS. So I'd rather bet them in the first half in the Garden, and I think I'm maybe leaning here Pistons early because I just think that getting Isaiah Stewart back is going to help them with the boards there, and you got guys that's already been contributing pretty well there. The only problem is that it's the Pistons, man. Like, who wants to bet the Pistons, and especially who wants to bet the Pistons against a team that's actually been playing pretty well in the Knicks? Even though they lost their last 2 games, they still have Jalen Brunson, who's been going crazy. He's dropping 30+ points, 10+ assists. He's been doing his thing. So I'm kind of on the hold up on this game, just like Matt Stuck said. Yeah, I'm kind of on the hold up here because I just think that I want to take the trend with the Detroit Pistons. They've been covering the first half, but I don't want to go against a team that I think that should put their fucking foot on these guys, and that's because they are the more talented team, and they definitely have the better coach. And Tom Thibodeau, I know we talk about Jimmy love how he loved Dwayne Casey. It's just one of those things. I just don't want to go against the trend with the Pistons early. I'd rather take that, and I don't want to go against the Knicks in the full game. So, if anything, I think I may be going on some props. But to be honest with you, I don't want to trust Jalen Brunson tonight. I don't know why. It just don't feel right to me. I don't want to trust Jalen Brunson. I wouldn't be mad if he has 30+ 10 again, because that's what I'm thinking. That he goes on this points, rebounds, and assists. But I just something's telling me to stay away from it. It could be one of those nights that quickly goes off, or one of these other guards go off. So I'm probably going to pass on this game. But I am leaning towards the Bronson PRA and Pistons first half. That's kind of where I'm thinking. If anybody likes those bets, I'm not mad at you.
All right. Well, I'm going to hold off on a play on the under because as of right now, obviously the total's gotten bet up since the overnight line. I don't really love to see that necessarily. I mean, it depends on why it's gotten bet up. It does appear that some sharp money is coming in on the over as well, which makes me nervous. As of right now, very, very small line value, full game on the Knicks, according to the site we look at. That's just full game, and that's just as of right now. But again, the majority of the bets coming in on the over, and the line is moving up. So those are bets that are getting some respect. So I'm going to stay off of my initial thought, which was under. Let's look at anyone in the comments section. Anyone has to say? Let's see what Gary Tenebra likes the Knicks. Yeah,
I can understand that. And you know what's tough too is that both of these teams over the last 5 games, they both been so bad, bro. They've been both bad. Bottom 5 in net rating, 26th, 27th in net rating, right by each other, neck and neck. So you got a team that's at the house. I'd rather stay away from this game. It's just such a tough call. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks don't cover the first half, and Jalen Brunson has a great night tonight.
Mike Wilkerson says Knicks team total over. That's got to be the way to go, maybe, just based on the way the money's been going so far. And Matt Stoney says the Knicks got to travel home and play the Bucks tomorrow. Yeah, so it's a weird spot for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Maybe they won't D-up.
Maybe they won't D-up and you got that over. Yeah, I understand that look, though, brother. I understand that look.
Jeez, if I just knew which teams were going to D-up when, I would kill NBA every day and every week and every month. But I can't freaking figure it out, you know?
Yeah,
hate betting on it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, motivation is key, man.
I know. All right, so it's going to be a pass for me. Let's move on to Golden State and Dallas. Wow, what a handicapping situation this is here, right here. Dallas been just awful ATS all year long, and Golden State, even though they often get overvalued, have been winning and covering recently. This is, of course, the rematch of the Western Finals. You know, if ever there's a spot that Dallas might be a good bet on, this might be it. I don't know, but they've just been so bad ATS. Golden State's been so good. This is an interesting game. I don't know what to think. What do you think, Trot Webb?
Oh, man. So you got one team that can't cover, but they still show some sort of competence. They still have Luka Debo on the other side. And you have another team that started off bad. Well, let's start off here. They started off at the worst way with teammates fighting each other. Yeah. Then they start off on the bad trail to start the season off. They beat the Lakers, of course, in the first game, of course, in ring night. But after that, they start having troubles there, wasting Steph Curry's 40-plus point games, still losing to games like the Kings, and so on and so forth. But now, as of late, like you said, they've been fucking rock solid. And now even Klay Thompson is coming out, sticking his chest out, saying that the NBA needs to be on the lookout because he's coming. They're coming. I like this game a lot, man. I like the Warriors too. Yeah. Because this is one of those games, it's like it's rinse and repeat. Pick your poison, Dallas. Are you going to have, because I think that the weakness for Dallas this year is a lot of the guys that they play, the defense isn't up to par as it was last year. For example, Christian Wood in pick and roll spots, he's cooked. Barbecue chicken. He's tall for nothing at this point. Because once he gets out there, he just doesn't know how to keep his body in position for a defensive or jumping for a block where he never really gets those. So if he's not having a crazy off game, it's pretty much out there as a wash. And on the other side, you got a guy like Andrew Wiggins, who's been fucking killing since the last playoffs. He's been killing. And against this team, they're going to have to pick their poison. Dallas has to pick their poison. Who are they going to allow to get open shots? Are you going to be Steph, Klay, Poole, or are you going to let Andrew Wiggins continue to go over his 2.5 3-point makes, in which he's been going over 6 straight games, y'all. 6 straight games. And right now we're still getting plus money because nobody is going to hear talking about it, making it famous like I'm about to do right now. So I'm on Andrew Wiggins, man. 6 straight times. I'm not saying that this is a no-brainer play. But after a while, if you look at the last game or even in the playoff series, you look in that playoff series, who was the X factor? Who was guarding Luka? Who was hitting those open shots when defenders were rotating off of him? It was Andrew Wiggins. And Andrew Wiggins, over 2.5, again, it's been hitting 6 straight games. We're getting that plus 137. I think plus 134, what I tweeted out at, if I'm not mistaken. But you're still getting good money with that. So I'm on Andrew Wiggins today. It's been good money. I haven't given out on any show recently, but I've been betting it, and I'm ready to rock here with y'all with it. So Andrew Wiggins is the first official play for me here. I really want to take the Warriors. I want to take the Warriors as well. But I can see where this can be a Dallas Maverick spot. If I'm not mistaken, this is the TNT game for the night. Yeah. And I love to tell y'all, I say this all the time, Luka loves TNT. Luka loves TNT. This is a game that he normally goes out of his way to show his dominance. But the problem is, and I agree with Robert Franklin, Dallas does miss Bronson. I think that Dinwiddie is a great player, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't know how to be as assertive as Bronson was, even though Bronson can do a lot more now. And you can see that he's doing a lot better because he has the keys to the ship. But even last year, he had moments that he wasn't passing to Luka. He was going to hit that Matt Mitty fadeaway without anybody's problem. So I think that you don't have that from Spencer Dinwiddie. and you just got the supporting cast not really locked in on the defensive side, and that's the issue here. So the Warriors on the road, trash though, man. So that's what's keeping me off. But like you said, Dallas can't cover, but this is not a cover spot. This is a win spot. So if I'm picking a winner here, I'm going to say the Warriors to go off. Andrew Wiggins trash possibly like in the rinse of 25 to 30 points, and he goes over that 2.5 3-point makes, which he has been doing so far. So we're on that, though. That's the official play for me. Andrew Wiggins over 2.5 3-point makes. Let's take that to the bank.
That might be the best way to go. People are agreeing with you. Matt Stoney says Wiggins had been money, and Chili Dog Dooley in the comment section. Great to see you. He likes Wiggins over 22.5 points and rebounds, and the Warriors team total over 115. Yeah, and my thought on this one was just the Warriors. And the line has moved in their direction a little bit as of right now. Teeny line value on the Warriors, according to this site we look at. 70% of the tickets, only 60% of the cash on the Warriors, but teeny line value, according to this site, on the Warriors as of right now. Some sharp money has come in on them, and the majority of the bets have also come in on the over, and it looks like some of that is sharp money as well. And that line has gotten bet up also. Yeah, about 2 points. It was 226 and that. Yeah, man, Warriors team total over. It's got to be the way to go, right? Right? Even if Dallas wins, it's probably a high-scoring game, right? Trotwam, you're on mute. Trotwam, unmute yourself. Good.
Unmute.
Say all that again just because I missed it.
The only issue is that these guys have been playing pretty good defense recently over the last 5 games. They've been allowing opponents to 102 points. But I don't think that this is the game that they're doing that, though. You know what I mean? Like in those last few games, I'm pulling it up shortly here. In those last 5 games, their opponents is Milwaukee on the road, Toronto on the road, Boston on the road, and Denver twice. So they lost 4 straight as far as Dallas within those games. And it's been going under that total because they ain't been able to score. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like they're holding to Boston. Boston has scored 125 points. We know what type of math they're trying to do there. This Warriors team's 137, 129, 124. I agree with you. I just think that they're going to continue to steamroll. They're finding a way to figure out the offense. And I think the problem, too, with the Warriors early on is they didn't know how to balance the young guys and the old guys. Starting to seem like they're figuring that out a little bit more. So I'm with Clay, man. I think y'all better be scared of the Warriors.
Yeah.
And all that tough talk was going to bite y'all. And I think the Dallas Mavericks, this could be a good spot for them to get revenge, but I just don't see it happening tonight. It's all in the hands of Wiggins, though. Wiggins has to hold it down. I think he correlates with them winning. Based on everything I'm hearing, the Wiggins props are probably the best way to go. If this line goes back in Dallas's favor, I might bet Dallas. If it doesn't, probably that means Golden State is the right side. As of right now, I'm going to pass. NBA is so tough. But let's move on to the next game, Clippers and Portland, right? Clippers off a nice win and cover. Portland back home from an East Coast trip. Both play tomorrow. I'm far from an NBA expert, but Clippers seem good. Portland seems like they're struggling. Definitely leaning Clippers again here, and especially first quarter and first half. Haven't bet it yet, but this was the play I was liking the most heading into this show. Clippers on the road against Portland. What do you think, Trotwam? Oh, man. So the Clippers last game, they were underdogs against the Indiana Pacers, where they pretty much dog stumped them. Curb stumped them like American History X or some shit. They pretty much did whatever they wanted to do. And Zubac was leading the front, man.
Yeah.
29 rebounds, 31 points. Can we call him Chamberlain Zoo or something? Or Chamberlain? Come on, man. Like, I got to figure this out because I don't think he's going to get that type of love today against this Blazers team. This Blazers team has been pretty much very much impressive. As of late, they're 7th in holding opponents 209 points per game in the last 5 games. The Clippers are number 1 in that regard, though. So they're number 1 in holding opponents in the paint, not in the paint, but points at 101. This seems like an under type game to me, just based off of what they've been doing recently. We know that the offensive power is not really there, or at least the star quality players aren't in this game as far as Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. I don't know if we could call him a star at this point, but Dame Lillard is not going to play in this game. But you do have the supporting cast around Dame, who's been fucking phenomenal. Jeremy Grant, let's talk about that. Jeremy Grant probably is the only guy I want to bet on in as far as props, because I know he's going to be that guy for them down the stretch. It's kind of a toss-up with the Clippers. It could be Norman Powell. It could be Reggie Jackson. You may even find John Wall having a good game, and they give him the keys to the thing. But at the end of the day, we know at the Trailblazers need a bucket. They're going to go to their guy that they off-season acquisition, Jeremy Grant. I think he's going to be the guy. So that kind of scares me, though, because I'm betting against the Clippers, and the Clippers have been able to do things that I haven't been okay with. You know what I'm saying? They did lose to the Denver. They did lose to Golden State, but obviously they don't have their guys, so they're going to lose based off of star power alone. In those games, they were pretty close with the Denver, gave it up late, and then that Golden State just blew them the fuck out. But before that, they were able to beat Utah. They were able to beat San Antonio as they should. Detroit, they handled business there, and then almost won against the Dallas Mavericks in that road trip in Texas there, which was off of a back-to-back. They almost won that game by 2 points. They lost by 2 points. So they actually still been playing really, really good. Shout out to my boy MMA Locker Room, though, man. Mm-hmm. Talking about Hart getting like 8 boards. Hey, man, Hart is probably one of the best wing defenders that gets rebounds, bro. He's like one of those guys, so I wouldn't be mad at you there. But if I'm going anywhere with Portland, it's going to be Jeremy Grant points, possibly to get 25. I think that's probably the best look in this game. But again, this is a game that I didn't bet yet, but I'm really leaning towards the Blazers. The Blazers early, and I'm liking Jeremy Grant. The only problem with the Clippers for me is this: they're playing really good defense, and if I really want to be honest with myself, that's going to stop me from betting this Jeremy Grant thing, because they have so many wings they could throw out there. Man, they have so many wing players that they have just in their back pocket. So this game is really tough to me. Like if there were more games on the card, I wouldn't even be considering this. But I think Jeremy Grant is possibly the next bet that I'm going to make if I was to make. If it's going to be either Golden State. I'm doubling up with Golden State, taking Andrew Wiggins and Golden State, or it's going to be Jeremy Grant tonight, and that's kind of one of the things I'm kind of torn in between.
BJ says the Clippers are tanking this game, sitting everybody. Is that true?
They've been sitting everybody already, bro.
I think right. I think
everybody's already been sitting. They just been having. I mean, I wouldn't say they're overachieved because they have a deep team. You know what I mean? So as far as who's already out, we already talked about it. They don't have Luke Kennard. They haven't been having him for a while. Paul George is out with the hamstring. He's probably not going to play within the next couple of weeks. Kawhi Leonard, I mean, if he does play, he's probably not going to play that much, or he's not going to play that well. So it's not really that big of a deal. And John Wall is out. So that is the dude that is out for rest. He is out for rest. But again, like they have so many other guys that haven't been even able to play, like Preston, the kid from Ohio. So they got guys that people haven't even noticed about. But I like the Trailblazers here. I think the Trailblazers can hold it down. They've been holding it down as a favorite so far at the house, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's kind of the play. But I like Jeremy Grant over everything, because I think if anybody's going to be the key guy in pushing this over or allowing them to win, it's going to be Jeremy Grant.
Wow. Okay. I'm off with that.
They've been terrible at the house as a favorite. 1-3 ATS at the house as a favorite. So I take that back.
BJ says this is a Blazer spot. Shout out to Dabby Cab at MMA Locker Room in the comment section. Damn. Wow. All right. Maybe I'll just have no NBA bets on today's card. I mean, the line has moved in Portland's favor, and the total has crashed right from 216 to 211. They're both playing tomorrow as well. All right. And as far as the money is concerned, as of right now, it looks like there's some line value on the Clippers according to this site, but that could change easily, especially with personnel changes. And, about half the tickets are on the under, but the total has crashed. So hard to get a read on the market movements as of right now. Wow. And Billy Friedrich says the Clips are 2-7 to the under team total this season on the road. So maybe the Clippers team total under is the best way to go.
I kind of would agree with that. Both of them defenses have been locked in. This game tough, though. I'm not going to lie. This game is tough. I'm only thinking Jeremy Grant. I'm probably hold my nose as I'm doing that, too.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we started this segment, I was thinking the Knicks game under, Golden State, and the Clippers were all going to be bets of mine and picks, but neither of them will be, and I might even bet the other side on all of them. No official plays for me. Only 3 games. Yeah, I think this might be the first time I've ever done a card not given an official play in the video, but, it's okay. I think I'm going to pass on all of these games officially. Trotwhammer, please review your official plays so far.
Yeah, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout if I do add the Jeremy Grant play again, or the Warriors. Be on the lookout for those two. But right now, it's only one official play. I did lock that in at plus 137, if I'm not mistaken, and it's the Andrew Wiggins over 2.5 3-point makes. Been hitting it 6 straight games. Did the same thing in the playoffs last year. I expect the same type of game plan for Steve Kerr and them boys. You got to pick your poison. Who you want to go off? Is it Steph, Clay, Jordan Poole? Most likely it's going to be Andrew Wiggins. So we're going to lock in with that. And man, follow me on Twitter, TrotWham on Twitter. I'll be back here again on Tuesday with my boy Loshak, of course. And anytime with Jimmy, I think maybe on this week with Jimmy, maybe Friday, I'll be on there with him too.
Wiggins over. That might be the top play of the card. Shout out to Trotwham. Thanks so much for joining me. Wow, man, the NBA is so tough. The NBA is so tough, but it's fun. It's fun but tough. Fun but tough. And again, it's just motivation is so huge and so key. And I just don't have a good feel for that naturally. People who watch it and follow it every day, day in and day out, probably do. All right, Jose Bouquett, you want to drop in for a second here? We could end the show now, but we could talk about college basketball and college football if you want.
Well, I'm going to be honest.
Pressed for time?
I'm going to be honest with you, Pete. I am a little pressed for time because I'm going to go see our friend Ick Schnizzle, who just flew in from Cleveland. So we're going to go have a round of golf here soon. So I am a little pressed on time. I am going to be honest, but I would love to hear any any college basketball plays you have. And I will say I am wearing the USA jersey. Shout out to our guy Alex, Classic Picks. He gave out over 2 in that match. I like that as well, and that would be what I'm on as well in that match. So shout out to Alex.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, we can just quickly look at college basketball. It's a big card, of course. And again, like I said at the beginning of this show, I don't have any plays on the overnight lines, except I did take Marquette plus 6.5, which might have been a huge mistake. It's not exactly clear how good or not awesome Marquette is at the moment. This is going to be a very good test for them. I like Shaka Smart in general, especially as a dog going up against a good team. But I do see that Dabby Cab likes Baylor first half. Maybe he likes them full game as well. Other than that, I think I'm going to pull the trigger on Duquesne over UC Santa Barbara at 3.5 or 3. I kind of like that one, Duquesne, and that's the only one as of right now that I'm almost certainly going to pull the trigger on after the show is over. Davidson Charlotte is very interesting. Always leaning unders and fading Davidson in general, but total's very low. Not sure if I want to do that. It's a tough card. It looks like a card that is going to have a lot of second half plays. Whenever there's not that many pregame plays that I'm liking, it tends to be a card that has a lot of halftime plays that I do wind up liking. So that's nice. But as far as pregame is concerned, I did take a shot with Marquette. Don't necessarily recommend anyone tail that. I know Dabby Cab is on Baylor first half, and I do kind of think that that Duquesne -3 or 3.5 against UC Santa Barbara is a decent play. Might be some other stuff that looks good closer to tip off, but as of right now, that's all I got. Let's look at the comment section, see if anyone has anything. Billy Friedrich says, I grabbed the Marquette Baylor under last night at 155.5. Yeah, that was definitely my lean as well. I didn't pull the trigger on it just because, it's going to be an intense game. They're going to D up probably. And I was more looking at the first half under, thinking about the first half. I think the first half under is, but I also didn't pull the trigger on that either. But I might before the show, right after the show. Definitely leaning under in that one. And I did bet Marquette. Other comments? Let's see. Other comments? Nope, nothing on college basketball. Okay. And then we don't have to. Do you want to look at college football for a second, or do you want to just get the hell out of here, Jose Bouquett?
No, do you have any college football looks? I'd love to hear it. It's college championship week. Obviously,
yeah.
A big game on Friday. I'll be going to that game on Friday. I can't wait for that.
Oh, North Texas UTSA. I do kind of like the over, even though it's a high total at 68.
I also will admit I do like North Texas plus the points. I think it's pretty crazy that we're getting double digits. We played them close earlier in the year. They're our rival in football. They beat us last year at their place. I would take the points personally. I think it'll be a closer game, but yeah, it's going to be a fun game to say the least. I would like the over as well.
Yeah, I would like the over on this one. Now with these championship games, regular season, if I make a bet and I don't like it anymore and the line moves against me or whatever, I usually just ride it out. But like in bowl games and championship games, sometimes if I make a bet and then it looks like I'm on the wrong side, I will hedge out of it and then take a position on the other side. I hate doing that. It's definitely a bad sign if you do that a lot. But in this week of college football, I'm more willing to do it than in other weeks. I did bet. Again, I bet TCU. That line hasn't moved. We'll see where it moves. If it winds up being like, pick them by kickoff, probably I'll hedge out and maybe take Kansas State. But I took TCU -2.5. I took Ohio +2.5. That line is down to 1.5. That's another game where if it's Toledo -3 by kickoff, I'll be on the wrong side. But I did bet Ohio, and I did bet Tulane. I took them -2.5 against Central Florida. That line has moved in my favor as well a little bit. Couple plays that I haven't bet, but I'm harshly thinking about betting. Fresno State getting 3 or 3.5 against Boise, and the other one I was thinking about was what the hell was it? That's the only one I'm thinking about bet is Fresno. That's the only one I'm thinking about, but haven't bet yet. Fresno plus the points. I'm thinking about betting. I've been betting Akron all year long. I bet them last week. I don't know if I mentioned it. There was one time when I mentioned it in one of my videos and said I really liked it, and a couple of guys tailed it. And I'd be leaning that way as well, getting double digits against Buffalo. But the only ones I pulled the trigger on so far, Ohio, Tulane, and TCU. Let's glance the comment section, see if anyone has to say anything about any of that. Brandon the Great, K-State going to bring home a ship. Okay. DC Capper is asking about college basketball, asking about Virginia, Wisconsin, and Illinois. Let me just find my notes here. I definitely don't have a strong opinion on any of them. I can tell you that right now. Yeah, not sure. I mean, the Syracuse, the Illinois game is fascinating. Second half written all over it. The Virginia game, second half written all over it as well. And then the Wisconsin game. Yeah, so that's good news. I have no opinion one way or the other on any of those games, aside from that they all have second half written all over it. Yeah, the Wisconsin game, I was thinking about the first half under, but it's such a low total, I didn't pull the trigger on it. I don't know where the total has moved. The only thought I have is the under in the Wisconsin game. Sides, absolutely nothing. Brandon the Great likes Maryland. Yeah. Big question is how awful exactly is Louisville? I'm not exactly sure. They're bad. And I did get burned.
My first indication, I heard they lost to a D2 team in the preseason. I was like, oh, geez. Yeah, I would agree. Bobano said that yesterday. Like, his first instinct, just take the points with Maryland because Louisville was horrible.
And I will say one thing about Louisville as well. I do okay with second half bets. There's some specific things that I look for, right? And in the Cincinnati game, the last game against Cincinnati, the things that I look at said take Louisville second half. Great bet. And I did. Pounded it. And they got blown the fuck out in the second half of that game. And I was like, wow, this is a bad team. Even when the indicators and the stats point strongly in their favor, they still get blown the fuck out. Wow, I'm looking at it. 0-6 ATS overall on the year. Yeah, it might be an automatic no-brainer play on Maryland, although I didn't pull the trigger on that. But yeah, Louisville is definitely I bet them once this year. Second half against Cincinnati, last game. Lost by a mile. Not going to be doing that again until a lot of further notice. They have to get 3 or 4 different notices about Louisville not being an auto fade before I'm betting on them again. Yeah, Robert Franklin likes Maryland and
Shout
Virginia.
Out to something, by the way, $10 dono. Eat. I don't know if Jose is old enough to drink, but this is for you guys and all you do.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I will continue to be hot. And Nashville not fighting my barber. I'm just incredibly lazy.
Shout out to you, know something. Thanks so much for the dono. All right, that's about it. I would recommend a play officially though on Duquesne -3 or 3.5 against UC Santa Barbara. I'll go out on a limb and say that. Other than that, that's about it. And I think we can wrap up the show, right? Jose Bouquett, what's going on in the Pub Sports Radio world? Anything of note reminding anyone about?
No, I would just say shout out to our sponsors as always. One of them obviously being SeatGeek. Use promo code Pub Sports Radio. Stay tuned for a loaded day of shows. Obviously, Net Profit, the Pub Hub of the NBA, 3, 4, Gridiron Gamblers tonight with Jimmy at 7. So all those things, or I should say 8 is Eastern time. There, I'm thinking Central. But yes, all those times, all those shows today. It's going to be a fun time. Pete, I will see you soon. I'll see you next Tuesday.
Absolutely. Shout out to SeatGeek, the absolute best way to buy seats. Hands down, no debate. SeatGeek. Sign up for it and buy your seats through SeatGeek.
Yes.
How was that for
Pete,
promo?
that was great. That was excellent, Pete. I'll say this. I'm going to Vegas in December. I'd hate for you to see you in Vegas. I'd hate to see you in Vegas.
You're going to Vegas in December.
Yeah, and the time between Christmas and New Year's, I'll be in Vegas. So
yeah, I actually have some freebies. I was going to go to Atlantic City, but maybe I'll see if I can. I just fucking hate flying. I just fucking hate flying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. Flying is a pain in the ass, but no, I get it.
But yeah, all right.
It'd be a real shame, Pete. It'd be a real shame.
All right. Once again, SeatGeek, sign up for it. If you don't sign up for SeatGeek, you are a fucking loser and committed to being a loser for the rest of your life. So sign up. Shout out to SeatGeek. I'm plugging the hell out of SeatGeek.
You're
hell
doing
yeah.
a great job, Pete. We'll see you guys
See you next Tuesday.